Hello! Welcome back to Harry Has a Cocktail, episode 26, the show where I make a cocktail and then drink it. If you're a follower of the program, you know that I'm not really a huge fan of sweet drinks. When I started drinking years ago, I drank a lot of sweet drinks like most of us do when we first start drinking in our college days. In my case, my postgraduate days. My drink was a Cosmo. But as I've gotten older, I have kind of moved a little bit more into more complex drinks. And if you remember, back in episode 5 was the first time that I started experimenting with amaros. Indeed, I had no idea what an amaro was. Amaro or amaro is Italian for bitter. The plural of amaro is amari. If you're not familiar with what amari are, here are a few of them. I'm sure you'll know at least one of these, especially this one. This first one here is Campari. A lot of people debate whether Campari is actually an amaro, but it says bitter right on the front of it somewhere here.
Where does it say bitter?
It says right here, it says bitter. It says right here, Jen, it's a bitter wine. No, it says right here that it's bitters. So Campari is from Milan, Milano. This one was one that I used in episode 5. This is Averna. This has a really lovely chocolatey sort of bitter flavor to it. This is Sicilian, which is probably another reason why I like Averna so much, is because my family is from Sicily originally. Here we have Montenegro, which is made in Bologna. And this is lovely. This is kind of a spicy, kind of Indian spicy quality. And then this is Chinar. And Chinar is, as you can see on the label, can you guess what it is fermented from? Yes, Chinar is fermented from artichokes. Chinar has become mine and Sean's favorite. We love to make a Chinar Negroni with these. But the granddaddy of all amaros, I'm not saying it's the best one or anything, but it is definitely an acquired taste. And that is Fernet-Branca. Fernet is a very famous amaro. It is also made in Milan. Fernets are starting to be used a lot more in different cocktails now, but the problem sometimes with Fernet, especially Fernet-Branca, is that it tends to overpower any cocktail you use it with. I myself am still trying to get used to Fernet, and so I'm gonna do a drink today that is going to incorporate some Fernet. Not too much, but a little bit, just to, I'm trying to get myself more into it. Fernet is used a lot and is very, very popular in Argentina. And can you guess maybe the city where it is popular here in the States? You won't guess unless you live there and you drink it. San Francisco, oddly enough. In Argentina, they do Fernet and Coke. Sort of like we do rum and Coke. I don't do rum and Coke, but some people here do rum and Coke. But this is nothing like rum. Fernet is made from 27 different ingredients. This is made from, I don't know, chicory roots, saffron is in here. One of the most guarded aspects about this is that the Branca family, who still actually runs the company, the story is that whoever is in charge mixes 5 of the 27 ingredients in a locked room at the factory. So only the Branca family knows what actually is the final 5 ingredients that goes into Fernet-Branca. So it's a well-kept secret. Now, if you've ever tried Fernet, you'll know it's quite medicinal. Sometimes when people are describing Fernet, they might use words like Listerine or why. That is not my own joke, but I thought that was hilarious. It's from there's a website that I'll put up on the screen here. It's very, very strong. It has a menthol quality to it. I mean, as soon as you open the bottle, you can smell it. So I'm going to make a drink today using Fernet. The other really interesting thing about Fernet is that it was one of the first liquor companies to create a real brand for itself. They used to put out a bunch of really artistic, beautiful vintage posters. Well, they're vintage now. They were from the 1920s, 1930s. And I'll flash a couple up here on the screen for you to look at. They're just gorgeous. So the drink I'm going to make today is called the Hanky Panky. Who doesn't want the Hanky Panky? Now, if you're not used to drinking a bitter or more complex drink, this drink may very well not be for you. But I really encourage people to try this because I think it's going to be really interesting. It has ingredients that I've been experimenting a lot with and which I personally love. So let's see what goes into the Hanky Panky. We got gin, we got sweet vermouth, and Fernet-Branca, as I mentioned. We are going to make it in a mixing glass, and we are going to garnish it with an orange twist. And I did some clever little cuttings with my twist today. Okay, let's go ahead and make the Hanky Panky. First, we are going to fill our mixing glass with ice. I had a party last week, so I'm trying to get rid of the rest of my bagged ice. First, we are going to use 1.5 ounces of gin.
1.5.
Now, 1.5 ounces of sweet vermouth.
1.5.
Now, the recipe says to use 2 drops of Fernet-Branca. A little goes a long way. This is the thing you gotta know. Think about this. I'm putting 2 drops in. These are old droppers that I got from the Shaker and Spoon people. Check out Shaker and Spoon, by the way. They do some great stuff. You'll learn how to make some great cocktails there. So I saved some of their bottles and I have droppers. Now, it says 2 drops. So I'm going to treat this dropper full as a drop. So here we go. 2 drops of Fernet-Branca.
1, 2.
And now I'm going to stir it until chilled, about 30 seconds. Okay. And now I'm going to strain it into a chilled coupe glass. Oh, it's so chilly.
Look at that.
Looks delicious.
Twist the twist a little bit. Get the essence of that in there. It broke a little bit. That's all right. It's looking very pretty. Very, very pretty. Okay, let's go ahead and try the Hanky Panky.
Oh, I love it. Oh yeah, that's good. This is the kind of drink that I am digging more and more and more. The use of sweet vermouth, which people, I gotta tell you, I mean, I know we don't drink that stuff straight here in the States, but in Europe, I don't know, I think they got it all over us, but they drink it on the rocks as a digestif or an aperitivo, digestivo. I study Italian too, don't you? If you're a follower of the program, I study Italian. It mixes like all these great qualities of like the strong spirit of the gin mixed with the kind of, to me, sort of sweet but mellow wine-like flavor of the vermouth. And then the Fernet is just adding a little touch of like, that. I gotta say, I could use a couple more drops of this, specifically of the Fernet-Branca. I think it could actually be even a little bit more bitter. Yeah. Oh, that's really good. See, this is gonna help me get myself a little bit more accustomed to Fernet. I just haven't been able to really dig in yet because it's just a little too pungent, And certainly in cocktails, it's so pungent. Maybe I'll try a Fernet and Coke at some point too, I mean, why not? Okay, that's it. Thanks as always for joining me here on Harry Has a Cocktail. I hope you enjoyed the Hanky Panky. I know I do. So queer. And cheers.